Hello everyone. So we are back with another new part in Munstack interview question series, and today we are going to cover important question, which is a fundamental JavaScript concept, which will allow you to understand how JavaScript works internally, which is what is call stack in JavaScript. Now, call stack is like a internal mechanism built into JavaScript, which allows us to run various kinds of code that we usually write or try to run using JavaScript in, let's say, on browser or backend server using Node.js and stuff. So today we are going to understand what is call stack, and without wasting any further time, let's move into it. But first, if you haven't watched any previous videos in this series, please do go and watch them, because we have got a lot of fundamental concepts related to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node, and stuff. So let's proceed with today's question, which is what is call stack. Now, in order to understand what is call stack, I'm going to take a simple example here. Let's say I have a function add written like this, which is function add, which takes two parameters a and b and returns the sum of those two input parameters. And I have a function call here. So this is function definition, and I have a function call which is trying to create a sum of these two numbers and return it back to the user. Now, how does this function execute internally when we try to run this function using, let's say, Node, or when we try to run this code in the browser? Now, what happens internally is there is something called as call stack in JavaScript, in which this code is going to be interpreted and run, and the results are going to be given back to the browser or the server end. Now, initially, whenever any kind of function is written or run in JavaScript, the first code or the first thing that is added into our call stack is called as global execution concept. So call stack, what inherently does, it tries to add all sorts of elements into it. That is why it is called as stack, because in stack, if you know, let's say we have stack of books, we try to add some things on the top of it and we try to remove them, right? Similarly, in call stack, what we do is we try to add lots of things which are related to our function code or the code which we are trying to run, and we try to pop them off, try to execute them, and we give the results back to the user or show some changes on the screen. Now, the first thing which is usually done or which is added whenever any kind of code is run in JavaScript is we add a execution context within the call stack, which is called as global execution context. Now, before we try to understand what is global execution context, we need to understand what is execution context first, because global is something, a type of execution context. So what I did was I searched on Google for this, like we usually do, and I came across interesting answer on Stack Overflow. So I just went on Google and searched for what is global execution context in JavaScript. Now, if you go through this Stack Overflow answer, you will realize that execution context is basically an environment which is added initially whenever we try to run any kind of code in JavaScript. If you see the statement here, it tells us that environment in which your code is running is called execution context, and is created whenever your code is executed. So let's say when you are trying to execute a code like the one which we just mentioned here, we try to run that code in a execution context, which is basically an environment. And the execution context can be of three types. The one which we are typically trying to run is called as global execution context. So global execution context is basically the execution context within which all the code that you try to run is added to. Now, the object that is exposed is the window object. So window object is, if you know, is the main or the primary object which is available in JavaScript code, which we can use to run all sorts of things in our browser environment. So first thing that we do is we add global execution context into the call stack. After that, what happens is the interpreter will go line by line into our code, and it will ignore all the function definitions. What I mean by definition, a code written like this, where we define those functions, and it will only focus on all those function calls. So these three lines will be ignored first, and it will come to this line, and it will realize that, yeah, there is a function call here. So it will take this function call and it will add it on the top of this call stack. And the first element which is added at the top of this call stack is the add function itself. And once that add function is added into top of the call stack, it will try to execute that function. So as you can see, this add function will get executed, and these two values, which is 3 and 4, will be added in this function next based on this function definition, and this value 7 will be returned to the user. Once that is done, this add function will be removed from the top of the call stack, and then the next phase or the what we can say, the state of our call stack would be like this, in which the add function is removed and we have only the global execution context here. After that, we know that this function execution is done. So global execution context is also removed from the call stack and the call stack becomes empty. So initially we fill it with lots of things and eventually we pop up things until it becomes empty. And once it becomes empty, our program execution is completed. Now, what we can do is we can try to understand this concept a little better using an example which is present on node.js.dev. So let's say we have a functions like this. For example, let's say we have a function like bar, we have a function like bars, and we have a function like foo. In bar, we have a log statement which prints console.log bar. Then we have a bar statement which prints console.log bars. Then we have function foo in which we first print console.log statement, then call this bar function and then call this bash function. And eventually we actually make a call to this foo function because this is definition and this is actual function call. So how is this function actually executed using the call stack? Let's try to understand that. Now when this code runs, obviously all these are function definitions, so they will be ignored initially. Then this function call, the first function call which the interpreter encounters is this foo function call. So this foo function call will be added at the top of the call stack. Obviously global execution context is added. On the top of that, foo function call is added. Now once the foo function call is added, it will go into the function definition of foo. In this case, it will be this function definition. Now the first statement which we encountered in foo function call is console.log foo. So that console.log statement will be added at the top of the call stack, and that will be executed first because console.log is a EE statement. It will print out this output, which is, let's say, foo, into our console, and then it will be popped off the call stack. Then it will move to the next line in our function definition of function foo. Now, as we can see, we have a function call again, and as I had just mentioned, whenever there is a function call, it is added at the top of the call stack. So this bar function call is added at the top of the call stack here. And if I think we can understand this better if I open this in new window. So let me just open this in a new window and switch it side by side, because that way we'll be able to understand these things a little bit in a better fashion. So let me just keep this call stack diagram here, and okay, and let's just keep this function code in another window side by side. That way it will be easier to keep a track of code and I don't have to like go back and forth between these two. So yeah, this is the call stack and this is the function definitions, right? Now, once this function bar is called, then what will happen? Then this bar function will get executed, and as you can see in this bar function, we have console.log statement. So this will be added at the top of this bar function. So bar function got added, then this console.log statement will get added at the top of the bar function call, and this console.log bar statement will get executed. And by that, this second line in our code, which is bar, will get printed in our console. Then the task of console.log statement is done, and there are no more statements in bar function. That is why the bar function execution will get completed. So log will be popped off and then bar will be popped off. Then we move again into the function call of foo, or the code which is running in the foo. Next function that we encountered in foo is bash. So bash will be added at the top of the call stack. And now we move inside of bash function, and inside of bash function we have a log statement which is console.log bash. So that will be added at the top of the call stack, and that will be executed, and we will have a log statement printed which is bash. Once that is done, bash function execution is complete because there is no more code in bash function. So it will be popped off the call stack. And once we are done with bash, we will come back to foo function and we realize that, oh, foo function call is completed as well. And by that, it will become empty. Now, all these steps which we saw right now, they seem to be a lot of steps, right? But we need to understand that JavaScript is incredibly fast, and all these function calls which we just saw right now will be executed in a matter of milliseconds, not even seconds, but milliseconds. And that is why we say that JavaScript is incredibly fast. And that is one of the reasons why all those other frameworks like Node.js are so much fast and so much performant in lesser amount of resources, because call stack is really fast in JavaScript and it is able to execute this kind of code in a matter of milliseconds. Now to understand how much fast is this code executing, let's take an example of cards. So let's say I have a green card here in my hand, and let's say this is a piece of code which is running in the call stack, and I'm going to showcase how much milliseconds means actually. So let's say I give a flick to this card, and as you can see, this card changed from green to red in a matter of fraction of second, right? And that is how much milliseconds means in JavaScript. Like the code is run so fast that we are not even able to gauge where we did that green card go, and we are left with this red card. And that is how fast call stack works in JavaScript. So moving ahead from that card trick, I just wanted to emphasize on how much the speed of call stack is actually. It is executed in a matter of milliseconds, and that is why JavaScript execution is so fast. In the next part of this interview question series, we are going to understand what is event loop and how event loop helps in the execution of code in our call stack. So stay tuned for the next part of our video. And if you like this video or the card trick, please then hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and probably we will cover more such cool concepts and tricks in the future videos probably. Thank you and have a nice day.